let's raise it up and we can see where it hits your speakers. So we're at 30 now. Most people should probably be able to hear this on their speakers. 40 hertz is pretty much the bottom cutoff of a lot of studio monitors though, so let's go a little higher. So we're at 64 now. 70. 90, 100. So the importance of this is so we can kind of realize where our studios and monitors lack, and we can kind of fill in the blank with our mind when we're making songs, realize that there's a deficiency there and compensate for it. And when we know exactly where the deficiency is or where our speakers cut off, we can realize when we're compensating, and realize when we need to rely more on visual aids like tonal balance control, as in my other videos, and stuff like that. And again, if you have a real full range speaker system that's at a considerable volume right now, you will feel that 20 hertz that is still continuing to play what I'm saying. So I'm going to turn that off now. It's kind of intense. I can hear it on my speakers right now, and it's 20 hertz playing loud by itself is rather unsettling, honestly. It's almost like the brown note. But another thing I want to talk about in this video, and I promise I haven't been paid by them, I really just do love this software so much, is Sonarworks. Sonarworks is room correction software. So basically when you buy it, they send you a room correction mic, which has its own specific calibration file, and you will measure your room. You put your mic in, I think it's like 37 different positions or something, and it runs a sweep at each position, and it will make a perfect EQ curve for you. So this is my room currently. The dark blue is right channel, the light blue is left channel. It makes a different EQ curve for each channel, and these are the peaks and valleys of my room nodes with my speakers. So when I enable it and turn off the sub boost, this is what we get. If I turn the dry wet up to 100, it'll be more flat, but I find it sounds a little more natural at like 76 or so. I like to let it breathe a little bit. It kind of brings out the transients more, in my opinion. But this is such useful software. I like to turn the limit controls on aggressive low frequencies, so that's just going to put the correction all the way down to like 20 hertz or so, and aggressive high frequencies, I just like the correction all the way through. Linear phase mode to me sounds better than zero latency. It might be different for every room. Those are the settings. Sometimes I'll put it +2 dB bass boost, just because sometimes stuff sounds a little better with sub. You can also use this on your headphones. This is my headphones without Sonarworks. They kind of fall off in the low end, have this weird boost in the highs. They sound a lot more neutral with Sonarworks on. Another thing, let's do some sine sweeps so we can decide. Let's do 30 seconds between 20 hertz and 140 hertz. So we're just testing the sub right now. And let's do sweep. So you can see right here what frequency it's at. right, so let's do that one more time, and this time really listen, because really in a completely flat room that's been treated and is perfectly dialed, all these frequencies should be the same volume. So if you're hearing some frequencies come through louder, some through quieter, you want to take note of that in your listening position and realize that's how you're listening to your music normally, is with all these peaks and valleys that your room is causing by the reflections in your room, causing cancelizations, causing room nodes. Um, so you're not really hearing a flat sound. And another thing I'm going to say about SonarWorks before we do this again is it's not going to solve all the issues in your room. You're still going to want to put up as much acoustic treatment as you can and use SonarWorks as the last step, because acoustic treatment will help you a lot with first reflections and sound bouncing around. So you still can make your room a lot more dead. So software is never going to be able to do that for you. It can help your frequency response, but if sound's bouncing around like crazy in your room, you've got to get stuff up on the walls to absorb it. And that's really the only way to tackle that. So SonarWorks is more of a last step, but it can help you a lot. But at the end of the day, you're gonna have to have some absorbing materials in your studio to help that bounce. Okay, so let's do another sign sweep. Listen closely, pay attention to what frequencies you don't hear, what frequencies are louder, what frequencies are quieter, and maybe do this on your own time too, and really make note of where your room nodes are mentally. And SonarWorks can help you with this a lot. My room is sounded pretty flat. It's not perfect, but I can definitely work with it. All right, so here we go. All right, now let's do one more time, but I'll put it up a little higher because really you want to learn your whole room's nodes, but I think really focusing on the low end is important because that's where mistakes tend to be made. So one more time, here we go. All right, so I hope that helps you guys get more of an idea of where you guys' studios are at as far as low end extension um, and room nodes. Realizing these sort of things and working on them in my own studios help my mixes a lot. It helps me train my ears a lot too, just thinking about this sort of thing. So I highly recommend getting into testing this out for yourself, testing your hearing, testing your room. It's all really good stuff to be doing as a producer. So thanks you guys for watching. Subscribe if you want to hear more like this, and I'll be doing more. Thanks.